right, sure, everybody? Going live in 3, 2, 1.
It's time for the Law and Order Special Victims Unit After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are talking Season 18, Episode 3, Imposter. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Law and Order Special Victims Unit After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We are also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I'm joined by my lovely dancing panel and a very special guest. I'm going to start over there.
Yeah, okay.
Jesse and Rex. Hello.
Rex watched this episode with me today, so I wanted to bring him in. He has very strong opinions, right, Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is his opinion put me down?
Yes.
Jesse Janedy at DJ Jesse J and Lauren Salaun.
Hey guys, you can find me at Lauren Salaun, and I am man in the chat, or womaning, I don't know. And thank you all for being so patient in there. Here we are.
Yeah, blame Jesse.
My fault. Sorry, guys. But check out our sister network, Black Hollywood Live. That's what I was doing.
Before we jump into this episode, I want to give us. I think we're gonna make some awful jokes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give an advisory and warn you all that we make awful jokes. Sorry, but if you need it, we have a hotline for you.
We do, and that number is 1-800-656-HOPE. That's the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 1-800-656-HOPE, and that's 4673.
I like that you show us the.
That's how it's on my notes.
That's good.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Great. Let's jump into the plot. It's a real simple plot. There's a woman, and she really wants her son to go to Hudson because it's the best school around. This woman clearly doesn't know anything.
Desperate measures.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, is her kid dumb? Okay. So she real wants this kid to go to Hudson, the safest school. And so she sleeps with Alden Kessler, the Dean of Admissions, but no, it's not the Dean of Admissions, it's the security guard,
what
Tom
kind of background
Bedcast.
check are you doing before you sleep with somebody? Or, like, if you know so much about the school,
Right?
wouldn't you know what the... I mean,
Yeah,
kind of a big deal that the dean's black.
Exactly. If you're going for like, okay, who is this guy that I need to buddy up with and become friends with and sleep with so that my son gets into college... I'm not gonna Google him. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna trust this stranger.
Well, no, he was in an Instagram photo with other professors.
Look, that's like putting your hand in a bag and just hoping something come out of it. Like,
Yeah. I really like that our first big complaint is that she doesn't know how to Google the man that she wants to sleep with at Hudson.
because if she had just done that one step, we wouldn't have an episode.
True.
Right.
And it
I
would
mean,
be
there are
boring.
many things that if only, you know.
You know? Yeah, but here we are.
Well, okay, so the thing that anyway, let me quickly finish the plot. She sleeps with him. She decides she's not okay with this, understandably so. Olivia, being our Olivia.
She Googles after the fact because she's like, he said that the grant was this
Yeah,
much,
the
but
amount
I'm
was 9
silly.
million,
I
but it
know
was
it's 13 million.
Yeah. That's
So
the
I
mistake.
looked him up.
Now. Anyway, so Olivia comes in after, so the texts were my favorite. Incredible night, just gonna say it. Best sex ever.
So my question is, here's an inappropriate comment, but
Right.
my question is, I couldn't help but think, like, was that? Like, was it the best sex? Like,
No,
was that
she's
like a legit...
trying to get her son
or
into
was it-
college.
Right, but was it?
He's like, okay, but really, now
But
that you know
really,
who I am,
'cause
I'm
you know-
just like a janitor or something, was it?
10 minutes later, she
Do you
goes,
still mean it?
"You raped me, burn in hell." So Olivia's like, "It's a rape case, we're taking it on." And then Finn is like, lying is part of the game. Everyone in the club is lying. I used to claim I was Melly Mel's cousin. This got me really upset because that made me think of personal experiences, and I went, "Oh."
What's one from you? What have you
Oh, yeah.
experienced? Catfish?
No, there is this. Long story short, this guy claiming to be a cop. I don't know. I was telling somebody the story, and they went, "Well, how do you know he was a cop if he wasn't in uniform and didn't have a badge?" I was like, "That's a fair point, but thanks for ruining my story." Because in my story, he was a cop.
I mean, look, if I told you my whole, we don't have time, that's like a movie. My dating life. It took me 7 months to realize I was dating a homeless man. Like, because, honestly, like, real story.
There's an episode of New Girl about that.
Real story. Like, and this is the
no.
thing people do is they put this character, especially in LA, because it's easy to show up places and have the right outfit on and fit into situations. And when you leave the house and you're doing what you're doing, I'm trusting that those are the things that you're doing. Honey, I'm doing a stand-up show this Saturday. I'm talking all about it.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, there are places in San Francisco that because that's where I grew up, that the
Your face
bars-
right now is just like, where's this going?
there are people at the bars who believe that I am someone else, right? You go to a bar, you put on a persona. There's a bar that this guy believes that I'm English.
Okay, I've been like done
But
that
I
on
have
vacation.
a terrible English accent.
This is America. No one knows that.
Yeah,
They, like-
it's loud. But like, you know.
Wait, so have you ever had sex with somebody with them thinking that you were this English woman?
No.
Okay.
No.
Like you've come clean. Well,
No, my accent.
Then you'd be a rapist.
Not.
You're right.
No.
I'm just
or
kidding.
live with thank you, or at least.
Anyway. So the way the case goes, we end up in court, and the judge is like, I'm gonna let you try this, but it's not gonna happen.
Wait, but before that, can we just talk about how cocky he was?
The
Like,
judge.
no,
the Tom.
Tom.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, yeah, she's probably still up there sweating though, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Catching her breath.
I'm surprised Finn didn't punch him in
Well,
the
he's
face.
such a tool.
Oh my god.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
liked about his lawyer. I loved it. She was like, he is repulsive, disgusting. I hate him.
I wouldn't even give him the time of day.
Yeah.
But that's not illegal.
I
It was smart.
Killer ending statement. Right? So.
It was so good because I was like, he's gross. Gross AF, man. Gross.
But not rape. Crazy.
Well, so we'll talk about that. I have thoughts. We'll talk about it. But before so that was the episode. Also, there was a Baby Noah situation.
Oh, yeah. Baby Noah is not smart.
Yeah, apparently his language skills are underdeveloped.
Sorry.
Yael knew this though.
I
Well,
liked that he
how'd you
never-
feel about
I
that?
liked
You were
that he
like,
never
ha
spoke.
ha.
No, here's the thing. So I have a friend, and they have an offspring, and they're like,
They
thing.
have an offspring.
and they're like, nah, it doesn't do this, or it's not doing that, and it's supposed to, and we're worried. There's like a point where kids, like, I think it's 2 years. I don't know because I don't have a kid, but they keep telling me. Like, everything that happens before 2 years, every kid's at its own pace. Like, yes, at this point you should hit a milestone, but it's going to eventually, they're all just going to be fine.
Right.
And then you can worry. And I don't know how old baby Benson is, but like,
He's like 10. Just kidding.
They really
trying to
fast
get-
forwarded.
trying to get him into preschool, that's a concern. But like, I think, I don't know if we're at that point where we should worry or if she's just being a mom.
Yeah, and I mean, I can imagine being a mom in her job. It's obviously very high stress, anxiety. So like, she's probably doesn't get to spend enough time with him. So it's like every little thing, Wikipediaing it,
Yeah.
WebMD. Like, oh my gosh.
Never WebMD it. It's
No,
always
it's-
cancer or
Yep.
diabetes.
Yep.
Always.
Or herpes.
Or
Girl, you
Exactly.
should see a doctor.
I know. I have, and I'm good. Thank you.
my.
You
I mean,
loved the baby Benson crap.
No, I mean, I don't care. I thought it was kind of a waste of.
Yeah.
Like it was unnecessary, but they want us to feel like Liv's always focused on the job more than anything else, and her son is dumb because of it, sort of thing. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm being really insensitive. He's not dumb, and
not.
a lot of times, guys, boy kids are a little like slower than girl kids a lot of the time to talk and do all that stuff, and I'm sure he's gonna be just
Yeah,
fine. But
he's
it's
gonna be
adding some of that
fine.
personal storyline stress to the picture.
It was the whole thing.
He's 3. Thanks, Hanan.
Thanks, Hanan.
So he's 3 years old. So they're getting into like fancy pants preschool, and I bet they have like all these things that they have to do to get into this
Oh, yeah.
prestigious
But,
preschool.
like,
Yeah, I'm like, Liv, now you know it's not rape if you were to.
Sleep with the Admissions guys. Come on. Pull a
Imagine
Forrest
for a
Gump,
preschool.
guys. You guys know that that's how Sally Fields got him into school in Forrest Gump.
Oh.
In Forrest Gump,
yeah,
that
yeah.
scene.
Yep.
The first time I saw it, I did not catch it. As an adult, I went, I get it. I get what just happened. Forrest Gump. Yeah. All right, before we jump into our real discussion of rape versus deception, I want to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in. What?
Sorry, Steven said he's underdeveloped due to his mother using drugs. That is plausible as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really likely. So thank you so much to everyone who is joining us. Thank you to everyone live in the chat. Again,
Yeah.
we apologize for being late, Jesse.
My fault.
There are over 20 people chatting with us right now.
Yay.
love you.
We love that you guys are here. We also love if you go to iTunes and rate and review us. Yeah, start going.
I did already.
Oh, yay, Lauren's on top of it. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. The other stars, they don't work. Don't worry about it. So just bang on the keyboard, write us some words, leave some emojis so that Lauren can do her emoji interpretations because they're adorable.
We have one review. It has no emojis, though.
Oh,
It is.
But you
Can you read it as them? So since it's themed after the show, this episode.
Oh, read it as
How you think that
this
this person, if you were to become this person, like Tom?
No,
Be
I don't
Tom.
know.
Come on, do it.
No, because it's by African Anya. I don't know how to.
be African on you.
I don't know who African Anya
We'll let
is.
African Anya own that.
Yeah. And her title of this review is Essential for Expat Living. 5 stars from September 30th. So this is just from last week.
Yay.
I recently moved out of the U.S. to a country where SVU does not play on the TV.
What? I can't imagine.
I've loved the show for years, but now it's the one piece of America I really allow myself with desperate searches to find the show after it airs each week in the USA online. Haha. Several of my friends and I used to watch SVU together, and while they still send me their spoiler-free reactions now as they're watching each episode, I really appreciate having this after show to listen to because it makes up for not being able to actually talk to my wild gang. I can listen to this after show as soon as I finish the latest episode, usually when America is asleep, and it helps a lot. Thanks, y'all. Oh, I love this.
Oh my god, I am so. This episode is dedicated to you. I can't imagine.
Anya.
I can't imagine that. African Anya. I'm sorry. I'm like heartbroken for you. But
know.
also, it's Yael. It's
No.
pronounced Yael.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's Yael.
All of us.
Nope.
Get out of
just me.
here.
Sorry,
Just
girl.
me.
Sorry, girl.
All right. Let's talk about this rape versus deception
Oh gosh,
thing.
there are a lot of emojis in the chat though.
That's way too many.
Show
Hey
me.
Meryl,
Show me the emojis.
there's so many.
Yeah, like okay, y'all
They're,
getting
and they're all
carried
doing
away.
it now. Stop it.
That's a lot. That's
That's
really
a lot. I'll
intense.
have to get back to you on that. Maybe I'll put it on my Instagram story later.
It's a
It'll be great.
Snapchat with the faces.
Okay. So in this episode, Barba mentions a case called The People versus Huff, and I looked it up. What are you
They
doing?
just are going
Taking a
crazy
picture of
with
them.
the
I
emojis.
can't. Oh, I guess I can screenshot. I know how to use my computer, right?
Good job. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So People versus Huff. This is a twin situation, which we discussed a little bit last week, and we all agreed unanimously that if it's twins, it's rape, right? If it's like you think you're with one twin and it's the other, that is rape. We all agreed unanimously on the panel. Remember?
Yeah.
And then people in the chat agreed with us as well.
Now, is that a thing in real life? Like, would
So
they...
we agreed on the panel,
So it's a law. Just kidding.
guys.
Now.
That's how it works, guys. People versus Huff. This is when a twin brother. Hold on. I can just read the There's like a
little blurb.
Yeah, I want a blurb.
Come on, blurb.
Where'd the blurb go?
Come on, blurb. Look, Rex thinks something gonna
The
happen.
information states that the defendant, the twin brother, the complainant's boyfriend, deceived the complainant into having sexual intercourse with him without her consent. The story goes there are 2 guys. There's Lenny and Lamont and the girl. So the girl thinks that her boyfriend Lenny came home and is in bed with her, and it was Lamont, and she had sex with him. And then he's like, "Don't tell Lenny." And she's like, "What the F? Get out." And I believe the defendant was charged with sexual misconduct. So a person is guilty of sexual misconduct when, being a male, he engages in sexual intercourse with a female without her consent. First of all, this case is from 1994. The fact that that is the definition of sexual misconduct, according to this law, is a male engages in sexual intercourse with a female without her consent, like that in itself is a
Right.
huge red flag, right? A person has sexual intercourse with another person without
it's-
consent.
It's probably
That's
because
huge.
that's the
Specific case.
Yeah.
case and why it's referring to using those pronouns.
It's just that's a real obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's like really
1994 though. I
real
just did
gonna
a show.
bug me.
1967, illegal for interracial couples to get married. Like 1967.
really obnoxious. So I don't need to read the details because you basically get it.
So did he ever come out and say like try to fight and be like, no, she knew it was me? Like, because in my head I'm like, I always, conspiracy theorist. Like, were they shacking up and like this was her way of being like, no, he raped me. I thought it was.
No, I think he
Lenny."
was. I think he
Like,
was
he was just being a creeper.
I think he was just
That's
like she
fun.
thought it was. She knew it was me.
That's weird. It's
How
awkward.
do you not, if you're dating identical twins?
The lights were out.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
She turns on the lights.
I
I was
hope
like,
you
what the
can
hell?
tell them apart.
Yeah.
Like, even vocally, like twins
I don't know, though,
usually
man.
have different.
He was drunk. There were details.
Okay. Wow.
But so based on
I tore that family up.
based on stuff in this case, the court had no choice but to dismiss the charge of sexual misconduct. So like we agreed, but it says for the charge of sexual misconduct, lack of consent has been defined by the legislature, and does not include this particular circumstance in the present case. Assuming the defendant did deceive the complainant into having sexual intercourse, defendant cannot be found guilty of sexual misconduct, which is what we have kind of
Because
here.
most of the time, rape includes some sort of force, and
or coercion.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that may be carried out by physical force, coercion, abuse of authority, or against a person who's incapable of giving valid consent.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because you look at it and you go, that's very clearly rape. That said, you know what? Maybe it's not very clearly rape. Maybe it's very clearly sexual misconduct, but I believe that those should be equally right. Like, sure, I will concede maybe it's not rape specifically, but it is sexual misconduct.
Here's why
and those should be the same.
Like the twin thing, I don't know. I kind of look at that as rape because, we say force, right? So there was something negative that happened. So even though he didn't force himself onto her, the effects of that afterwards, like you have to look at your husband or boyfriend who looks like the person that, did this to you.
Because it's
Like,
different when there are two humans who look exactly
Right.
the same. It's a little different. When
Versus,
there's
like, you
literally
don't-
two
then
people
Google
who are
and
exactly
Then our
the
friends,
same visually. You
Right.
know?
Tom and Alden, that look very different.
Yes.
So
And interesting thing with our situation in the show, these women are going after him not because they're interested in him, and
They wanna
not
use him.
saying like, oh, like can we have sex so that you will be more favorable to my son? Like, okay, there we go. Pure sexual transaction. No, they're conning him too. And like the other woman said, like, oh, the hustler got hustled, like
yeah.
sort of thing. And
like nobody's ashamed of prostitution at
Right.
all.
I
in
love
this,
I
like-
love that she was like so like prostitution. She goes, "Yep, basically." Which
She
is
thought
her-
about it.
yeah,
She tried
yeah.
to sneak out of it, but she was
it's-
like,
yeah,
at the
it's
end of the
her.
day.
But like that's her right to do.
like, could then he, if they had consensual, if he was really the admissions counselor and they have sex and the son gets into college and then she's like, never talk to me again, can he charge her with something? With no.
Because he was a part of the act of the prostitution.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he didn't know that it was only for that purpose. It
Yeah.
gets, you can like play all the different
That's
angles.
muddy. That's muddy.
It's real muddy. I'm just so frustrated because like Finn says, lying is part of the game, and I think about I really made me think about my life and be
Yeah.
like, what have I done?
I just think it's different when, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone to Vegas before and been like, oh, I'm at my normal place. I'm going to pretend I'm this.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You do that with people. I'm not leading it to a point where I'm tricking them into doing something that could potentially change their life, or it's in a fun way versus like trying to be manipulative and,
Right.
Yeah, I think the difference is, perfect example, you go to Vegas, you pretend to be someone, they pretend to be someone, and you have this fun, and everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and like you go home, you're not expecting it to be a relationship, you're not expecting any...
There was no transaction.
There's no transaction. It was just this thing. I think the problem is that he knows it's for this transaction. He knew that the intention of these women
But
was
shouldn't
for...
that make it more okay for him in a sense to do that because they're trying to trick him into having sex with them
not
too?
Think of an undercover cop.
No,
So
they're faking that they're into him.
They're not... But I think that's the thing. I think that...
And I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm arguing all the...
I think that it's not... I think because they're both aware that this is the transaction, it's for example, when someone sleeps with their boss to get a promotion, that's like, we understand that we're sleeping with our boss to get a promotion. The boss understands you're sleeping with me and I'll give you a promotion. Like, it's an understood arrangement. But if she, I'm using male and female just because it's easier for me right now. She comes in and the man says, I'm your boss, sleep with me, I'll give you a promotion. She goes, great, I'm going to sleep with you, you're going to give me a promotion. And he turns out to be the janitor and not her boss. That's, I feel like that's part of it. I mean, putting aside the fact that she would know her boss's minor detail. But it's like the same kind of transaction. And I don't think that makes it okay.
It doesn't make it okay.
I don't think it makes it more okay.
I don't think it makes it okay. But then the other thing I looked at with the case was, wouldn't the smarter thing to have taken Alden and been like, this man is running around screwing these women, saying he's you.
Well, yeah,
that's fraud.
Sue the crap out of him.
Like he
slander,
took the paper.
like all this stuff. Identity
Wouldn't it have
theft.
made
The
more
paper
sense
from
to
his
like attack him through Alden, like bringing Alden into this?
As we know from this show, there are much easier, smarter cases to win, and we choose not to go with them. But you're right. I think the fraud should have absolutely played. I mean, the fact that he went into the office and got Alden's paper, his letterhead to use, like probably had business cards made. I want to say there was a website up that she said that she found him on.
But see, now you're saying this stuff, it's kind of like, okay, now we're taking this to another... Like, it's different if I'm just sitting here and Lauren walks up and I'm like, yeah, I'm the admission officer at so-and-so. And she's like, all right, well, my son's going there. Like, what's good? And we're like, all right, cool. Like, that's just, we met each other and we just felt like that.
He's intentionally going after
he has
this woman.
letterheads. Like, this is a plot. Like, you're out here plotting.
It's conspiracy.
You know what I'm saying?
Conspiracy to commit
that's
fraud.
Weird.
Well, it's still, fraud and identity theft, but is that rape is the question.
I mean, apparently not.
So in an
what's
article
happening?
that I read, and the chat is like equally confused about this situation. Like, a lot of people are saying how this is one of the few episodes they've seen where they aren't sure how they feel about the crime.
Yeah.
Usually you're like, yeah, it was wrong or whatever.
Moral versus
and,
legal.
And now you're like, well, yeah-ish.
I mean, I feel like I'm trying to think about how I would feel in her position.
Yeah.
We're assuming
you got
I have
tricked.
a child.
Yeah. Like, oh shit.
And you care about this
And
child.
I care about this child, and I wanted to go to Hudson. The rapist school. Of course it happens at Hudson. Even the staff is raping.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it seems that they didn't care that he was doing this.
Yeah,
it was
the
just
staff
kind of...
did not care. He
First of all,
kept
Alden was
his
like,
job.
I get offered everything. Like, he straight up lied to them at first. He was like, no, never.
We're a prestigious school.
Well, I mean, last year, this girl was like...
$10 million or whatever it was, yeah. I'd be like, yeah, for sure.
Hudson.
Which he never denied or...
Oh, no, he never said if he took it or not.
Yeah.
You had articles you want to share.
Yes. So there's one that has several situations here. Like, it's an NBCnews.com article. Could a pickup artist be charged with rape by deception? Because there was a conviction in Jerusalem of a man. So an Arab-Israeli man was sentenced to prison for telling a woman in Jerusalem he was Jewish to get her to sleep with him. And they convicted him of rape by deception. This is an article from 2010, so it's old. But
I have this one up too.
Yeah.
I have the same one.
So then it lists a bunch of situations like a case in which may be the same exact one with the brother situation. And one like where a guy was posing as a gynecologist to give women vaginal
I've heard that one.
exams,
Yeah,
and
so
they said okay.
That first of all is the oh no, it's not the same. I was like, there's a movie. No, but that I think is very clearly sexual assault.
What if Tom had given her a
But
disease?
the thing, yeah, it is. It's very. Oh, it's very
Well, so
weird.
I have another one from Israel also, which is amusing, where a man was convicted of fraud after telling a woman he was a neurosurgeon to have sex with her.
Oh yeah.
Which it's a fair lie.
Yael,
Yes.
Meryl says that you're bae, and everyone wanted me to make sure I told you that.
Oh guys,
Yael is
Thanks.
bae.
I'm bang.
And Meryl is a girl. She wants you to
She
know.
is.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Hey Meryl, I'm down.
Gosh.
What?
What if he?
What
What
were we
if?
talking about?
What if Tom had, said he was Alden, but then given her like the clap or HIV? You know what I mean, like or something. You know what I mean? What does that turn into?
Well, knowing this squad, anytime someone gives intentionally or like without keeping a secret or without telling them HIV or AIDS, they constantly go after them for attempted murder. Like it's a thing. There have been previous
Oh, let's
cases.
not put it there then. Like, what if it's like he gave her like herpes or something little
Yeah.
or an STD? Just I don't know why.
Something
Sorry.
little. What is with you and herpes?
I don't know. It's always like the first one that comes out because it's like I've read a lot about it and it's very scary. It's like these clowns that are out here right
Oh
now.
yes. Oh
gosh.
Like they just pop up out of nowhere and you don't know where they're coming from. But if he had given her something like that, what does that like? Would that have added on to the fraud part of it, or would that just be sexual?
Misconduct.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm first off not a lawyer, as much as I like to pretend I am. Not a lawyer.
What?
But also there was a case. I think they were doing assault with a deadly weapon. Was the kid what they were going after? When the guy had HIV. I think they were like, it's assault with a deadly weapon.
With a deadly weapon.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Or at least they made that joke. I don't know if they actually took it to court.
It's just this was a real Rex is just really
In
trying
the
to be a
end
part
of this article, it says, and this is an interesting one. I'll tweet it. It says like kind of the concluding statement of the article is like, what's the difference between I will love you forever and we're going to get married, and somebody sleeping with you because you say that to them, and then saying I'm LeBron James is literally what this article says. You know what? And this is a quote from
That's a sport player.
Patricia Falk, a professor at Cleveland Marshall College of Law, who's written extensively on the subject of, rape by deception or unequal relationships and all that stuff. And she basically says, what constitutes romantic inducements and things that are fraudulent enough for the law to take recognition of?
Man, because when someone says, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, I would believe that in that moment, they are them, and they are saying that feeling and emotion in which the other person knows that them as a person feels this way.
Yeah.
Versus the person saying that and knowing that they are not LeBron James.
Right. I mean, she's playing devil's advocate.
okay,
Like,
like,
what,
girl.
what you can look at, what the law
You think
can
I would know
recognize.
who LeBron James is? Come on.
Girl, I
Yeah,
mean,
like, cool.
I don't know.
Someone
don't
said
think
that to me,
I'm
I'd be like, is that a sport player?
Yeah, or like borrowing your
Space Jam
friend's
2.
car and be like, oh yeah, that's my car, this sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like it's
Yeah.
how it would be very difficult to put laws around this type of thing.
Yes. I just want to go back to the case that you talked about, the man who lied and said he was Jewish. Just to add details to that, because that's a hilarious story.
that
It's
sucks.
2010. He was convicted of rape by deception because he deceived a woman into consensual sex within 10 minutes of their first meeting by claiming that he was Jewish, unmarried, and interested in a long-term relationship.
She was anxious. She
Yeah,
was ready.
maybe she should have gotten to know him a little bit more.
No, 10 minutes. Talk about incubation period, huh?
It's so crazy. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that Oh, he turns out to be married with 2 kids.
Oh my God.
What a jerk. Anyway, I just wanted to, because those details are hilarious.
Get to know people.
10 minutes. What?
Get to
Whoa,
know people
Who
first.
are we to judge? Here's what I will say. Girl, sometimes you go to a club and you get drunk and you do things that you regret. Mm-hmm. There was nothing else with that. No.
But get to know people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what we're saying is you think that you're getting to know someone.
Yeah.
There was that case on SVU. Oh, such a great episode where the guy was living 2 lives. He met this girl and he fell in love, and he I think I talked about it at the end of last week. And he convinced her that he was a spy and that he was going to marry her, and then it turned out that he had a wife and kids and that he was a whole different person.
Mm-hmm. Wait, yeah, what season was that?
Oh,
Rolodex.
I don't know. Okay, so I know that Stabler was still there. His name was Daschle was the character. Stephen Daschle was the character, and it was played by the guy from Nip Tuck.
So amazing.
I don't remember this season.
Miss Nip Tuck.
It was the guy who's not Julian, whatever.
Oh,
The other guy. Yep. Great. So that was the
McNamara.
episode.
Nope, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. McNamara. It's Dr. McNamara. Anyway. But that is an episode where it was super deception, but that wasn't a rape case. That was a different case. Anywho, where do we stand on this, do you think?
In this specific, I mean...
I don't know.
I don't, because it's like when she did that closing argument, it was just like, well...
Yeah, I don't know really, because yes, he went very far to, assume this person's like to trick these women into thinking he was doing that. But I don't know if because they show that scene and they do it intentionally where he's like, "Are you sure you want to have sexual intercourse with me?" He just says sex, but it's very specific so that we see, yes, she said yes out loud and consented to having sex with him. So,
but she out loud consented to having sex with Alden Kessler in that man's body. That's the thing. She consented to having sex with someone else completely.
Where... But not someone else completely. Someone else's reputation and power.
And name and...
But she was looking at this specific man.
That was the human she was saying, I want to have sex with.
Because he really
that
did
was the
say
penis
that.
she said she wanted to have sex
Are you sure you want to
with.
do this? She said yes.
I think that's how we should look at it.
Which penis are you consenting to?
What body part are you willing to have inside you? Do you consent to that? What? Because I don't want to limit it just to peni.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sure.
True.
Thanks. It's really a consent of body parts. I think that's how we should break down consent. Is break it down to the bare minimum. This is why
contracts,
my affirmative
blood
consent
tests,
joke,
lie detector.
Yeah, but my affirmative consent process works, right? The affirmative consent is that you have to say yes. When I was saying the easiest way to do that is go, do you like that?
Yeah.
Do you like that? That's what we should do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe not that anymore.
Yeah. And then you move on.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Oh, maybe not that anymore.
I like that. Anywho.
Sorry.
I've
already told Yael that Meryl thinks she's bae. Okay, you guys? This is enough.
Does the
Never
case
enough.
change that the son died? Can you bring because
No.
if she had if he had never lied, the son would be alive.
That's not true. That mom was so crazy.
If something didn't happen when I was in elementary school, maybe XYZ, Sorry, ooh, we are
Butterfly
this is
effect. No, I think that no, because the son died because the mom was stressing him out.
Yeah, he didn't know about the relationship situation. He was more annoyed with her about pressuring him so much and showing up to every single meeting and all that.
He's like, wow, my mom really fucked some dude.
Oops.
Sorry. I mean,
who'd you guys think was dead at the end?
Oh, I thought the mom was dead.
Yeah.
I thought she killed herself.
When Liv runs up to the steps, at first I was like, oh, well, the mom, because of this situation, I was like, no, it's going to be the son before. And then you hear the mom crying, and I was like, yeah.
I want to add, there is a website. It is rapebyfraud.com, and it's Stop Romance Scams. And I believe it's about... I'm not really sure.
It's not funny.
It's not. I'm not really sure what's happening here. It's about catfishing and such. But it says, lying to induce sex is not intimacy, it's covert form of sexual assault. So it says the name of sexual exploitation differ from state to state. Some states use rape, others use sexual assault, sexual battery, sexual misconduct, and sexual exploitation. No matter what the name appears, everyone should include provisions to punish rape by fraud.
I mean,
Duping a victim robs them of knowing consent. Yep.
it's almost really one step closer to, like, you know, someone could just, you could meet up with someone that you think it's somebody else, and who knows, if they were to do something like a knife or have something, it's just kind of like, there's so many things that could happen and lead out of that. It's crazy to me that there isn't some sort of law, or they're not trying to really figure out some sort of way to be like, okay guys, like, we're not going to accept this as a community. Like, we can't accept, like, not just to be like, it's just how guys are. Like, no, that's that's psycho.
No more boys will be boys.
Yeah,
says
like,
Mariska.
this is not 1950, whatever.
But, like, it's, I mean, the thing that I think needs to be brought up, there's still cases out there, there's still laws on the books that if the woman was, or if the victim was intoxicated, like, it still won't be considered rape. Like, there are these kinds of things, and there needs to be, I feel like what I'd like, I don't know if this is possible, it's not, that someone like just overhauls all of those laws and goes, okay, let's just break this down. Let's just agree on these things and make it uniformed. But
I feel like we're moving in that direction. I mean, the Bill Cosby case caused California to change their law, you know, now a victim can come out.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the conversation really hasn't been thrown out there, and like this kind of stuff is new because catfish really just came to the forefront of
the term catfish has, but like
but meaning like people have known of it, but it wasn't like brought up as like, okay, we need to really talk about this because people are doing this.
Yeah, it's a sad world we live in.
Clowns, catfish.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my.
here's an article
Clowns, catfish, and Cosby. Oh my!
And
on
Kim
some
K.
random website called Madame Noir. I don't know what that
good
means.
website.
Madame Noir.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's Madame Noir?
I don't know, but
Jesse, tell us about this website.
Great website. Check it
quote
out.
from some woman named Michelle Lewis, who is
Yes.
I think, okay, so someone's putting together a bill. I don't know how old this article is. 2015, so not too old. To work on, to try and get deception by rape to be an actual thing. So and the quote from this woman who's working on it says that I think it's important because trying to deceive anyone for the purpose of sexual gratification is just wrong. Agreed. Every person has the right to knowing consent, and before they consent to be intimate with anybody, they should absolutely know 100% who it is that they are being intimate with. I agree with that as well, but there is some responsibility for you too to get to know somebody. You know?
Yeah, but I
don't believe freaking everything out of someone's mouth.
But I feel
Come
like it's
on.
kind of different in this case because she wanted something. Now, it would be different, like I said, if we were at a bar and I was just like, oh, I know Yael ain't gonna like someone like me. So then I create this persona based off someone that I actually know and then trick you into...
just so the audience knows, I'm all about Jesse.
Dum, dum, dum.
I've been
in this
been
nightmare of a world where you are.
propositioning you for years.
She has been and has offered some interesting options.
Anything for you.
But in that case...
Okay, so here's...
Then to me it's fishy.
I feel like there's a difference between what happened here and like if we're at a bar and I meet a person and they claim to be...
Bill Cosby.
No. And they claim to be a neurosurgeon and I sleep with them and I wake up the next day and find out that they're not a neurosurgeon, they're a barista. I'm going to be upset, but not...
But
you're right.
But I wasn't... But I don't know that I would feel that I had been raped. Whereas in this situation... I think I would feel that way.
But it's so specific, and that's the thing. Like, then there maybe are... I would just feel dumber. I feel like that.
But I think that's the thing. It's the same thing with like regret and like the way Hudson University is constantly asking, was it regrettable sex or was it rape? Mm-hmm. And that's where I think this deception thing is. Was it deception or was it rape by deception?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, if they're not a neurosurgeon,
I
was
think this
deceived.
is something where it can't, like with murder, like first degree murder, second degree murder, manslaughter, how like, yes, if you kill somebody, there are different levels of how bad that is. And so maybe this is that type of situation where it's like, okay, you didn't forcibly have sex with this person, but you tricked them pretty shady in a pretty shady way.
Being forced, like,
You know.
somewhat.
So it's like the manslaughter of rape.
I'll take it.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm glad we came to this decision. Unfortunately, the laws.
We're with you, Barba.
Yeah.
Oh, people
Barba.
wanted to know. Oh gosh, it was a while ago.
Was it about the baby? Because I said
No,
I
the
mentioned
Barba,
it.
the Barba,
Barisi? Oh.
That judge,
Barbara
I hate
Liv situation.
A Barba Liv situation.
That Barbara should have stood up to Liv and insisted on not prosecuting, and her wanting to push and all that. Blah blah blah.
I feel like he believed it though.
Yeah.
I like he
Yeah.
understood where
'Cause
she was coming from.
He doesn't take cases that he doesn't want
Yeah.
usually.
The judge was so like, is there more history there? I was like, why is this guy?
No.
Or he's
hate her
wasting
so
his
much?
time. Like that's what he
That
felt.
judge
Was mean.
Was mean and overstepped what a judge can do because he
Yeah.
basically said to him, "I will overturn their verdict if you win."
Yeah, and ruin your reputation.
Yeah, and like he better come back because otherwise, why did we get this weird judge out of nowhere
Yeah.
that we've never seen before who's pulling these kind of tricks?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like we're heading into predictions, so we might as well go there.
Yeah. I like forget what the.
Now, your AfterBuzz.
I haven't.
I watched on Hulu, so I didn't get to see it.
All right, so in next week's episode, we have guest star Britt Morgan, who you may know from True Blood and Graceland. She's playing a superstar athlete with a dark secret. She may be a hooker.
Oh.
What? Yeah, so she was raped, and she's the superstar athlete who has like she does a sport, I think. And
I think she does track. So we saw her running a lot.
is that a sport?
Yes, running.
Okay, I don't.
It's a running
I don't
type
know
thing.
sport.
Okay, fair enough.
It's the one with the running. So she also might be a hooker, is the premise.
And got raped.
And
on
got
the
raped.
Job.
Yeah.
maybe.
So, but raping a hooker is still rape.
Yeah.
The fact that she's an athlete makes me wonder
Well, because
Why
she's
you
not
wanna-
going to want to press charges and have
Right.
it be a public thing.
because it'll ruin her
because-
career.
Yeah, which is interesting because there must be. That means the fact that she was doing it as part of a prostitution situation. There's risk of that coming out.
Right,
You
exactly.
know? She can't just say, "Oh, I was just raped by this random guy."
Right.
There you go. Keep. The details are going to stay private. It's like that
Well,
is
I
that
was-
risk of coming
Yeah.
out.
Which is a very true thing in Hollywood. No names or anything, but there are some female celebrities that rumor has it is that you see them on TV and you think that they're making all this money, but they're really high-profile escorts in beards.
Yeah,
and
it's-
some of your favorite people, and you'd be really
It
surprised.
is a thing
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It's crazy.
We live in a weird place.
We do. And it's like when you find out all the information on here, the back end over here, it's like, can I move back to Massachusetts and be a sheep?
God.
I think next week's going to be a really interesting episode for us. My questions are, when will we deal with the fact that people wanted to kill Barba? Like, when are we
Well,
going to...
maybe. I mean, everyone in the chat does agree that this episode probably set us up for something, the judge coming back.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking when you were saying that, could this judge come back and be part of, like, his case with that? And then it makes things even trickier? Like,
I
who
hope
knows?
so, because otherwise it's like we've forgotten.
What's a beard?
Jesse, explain a beard.
A beard is basically a woman who would date somebody. Most in our situations, they date celebrities, and they date the celebrity to make, or it could be a guy too. But they basically, if a girl was to date a guy and pretend that she's her boyfriend, his boyfriend, or wife, or girlfriend, or wife.
Girl, you've confused
really
everyone. Let me
confusing.
try this.
So,
A beard is a woman who dates a man who is gay to make everyone think that he's straight. So, for example,
Well, it doesn't have to be gay either.
Oh.
Like it could just
Or just
be.
think that he has
Yeah.
a girlfriend.
Like it's basically like a high paid.
But usually it's
yeah, they're
Yeah.
gay.
because they don't want people knowing
for a
they're
long
gay.
time, every person who dated George Clooney was rumored to be a beard, and now he's married to a beard.
allegedly.
I don't
now
actually know.
he's trying to really seal that beard on
Yeah.
by marrying it. I'm just kidding. I
Yeah.
don't-
But these
We don't know.
reality stars that you be watching.
We don't know. Anyway, so
But
that's what a beard
then
is.
our beards are those actors that we're paying those movies to see because we think they're straight. Like, we can keep going with this whole episode. Goodness gracious.
Yes. I only wanted to see that movie because I thought George Clooney was gonna fuck. Sorry, that was just took it there, but you know what I mean?
I'm very confused.
I got it.
Well, because wasn't the guy who was going to be in 50 Shades of Grey one of the guys who was going to...
Charlie Hunnam?
No, not Charlie Hunnam. Oh, Charlie Hunnam. But not Charlie Hunnam. It was
The one who was
Matt Bomer.
Matt Bomer was never going to be
Yeah,
in
no,
it.
because it was supposed to be Ian Somerhalder.
Well, so
Okay,
Matt
well,
Bomer was too
anyway,
old for the role.
Too
Ian
old. And I
Somerhalder-
thought
yeah.
there was some conflict. I think this is
I do
accurate.
remember
There was some
something that you
conflict
said.
because
Somebody
he's a
wrote-
gay actor
okay, so
and
there was
people
an article-
didn't want him to
No,
play
there
this
was an
guy who's supposed to
article-
be
there
uber
was this-
sexual
there was
straight
this
man.
Really rude reporter, I totally remember this now, who had written this entire article about how gay actors can't play straight characters well, and that
You fooled,
Right.
girl.
yeah, and so there was a huge. I remember this. There was a huge controversy. He said that Matt Bomer could never play that role. Matt Bomer was never up for that role, but he said like Matt Bomer could never play that role because no one would believe it, except for anyone who's watched White Collar. Because Matt Bomer,
Yeah, I know.
was
When I found out, I was like,
heartbroken.
what?
I was heartbroken. Anyway, Matt Bomer. Where were we?
Anyway, predictions? I don't know. And then I
Predictions,
threw that back in there.
So
Beards and deception.
yeah, I think next week's gonna be a fun episode. I don't know if that's the right term. I really like that this episode was back to one-word titles the way we used to have them, and I don't know. Everyone was talking about this Carisi Rollins situation. That's not a thing. They're friends. They're more like brother sister. Stop making it a thing. Hashtag Barisi all the way.
Oh my gosh.
I also got told by some people.
The Barisi pictures.
I got told by a lot of people that the writers are fully aware of the Barisi theory. And
So they
that
try to
they
do-
throw in things to mess with us, but it's not gonna happen.
It doesn't like I don't see it
It's not.
moving in that.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
No.
But I did see someone post on YouTube a great theory that BD Wong comes back because we've been begging for him, and that it turns out he and Carisi have been, or he and Barbara have been together for months, and it was a secret, which I really like, and I want that to happen. So thank you to whoever wrote that on
That
YouTube.
would be
So sexy.
Yeah.
It would be. I have a lot of emotions about that actually.
Yeah.
so
That could be cool.
it would be.
And
storyline.
all the people who were telling me about Barisi also told me about the Benson Rollins thing. Ballins. Renson? I don't remember what it was called. Anyway.
And we still never came back to Liv's drinking problem.
Yeah, that just disappeared. Well, I mean, we do have a new showrunner this year, so who knows what's happening.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Clearly, we love this show, so make sure you have subscribed everywhere. YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Anywhere else? That's it. Follow AfterBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, other places.
Yeah.
And if you have a droid, we have an app.
Oh, yeah, do that. But until next week, Jesse Janedy, where can people find you?
Everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
And you have a comedy show.
And I have a comedy show this Saturday.
wanna come
If you're in LA, it's at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room. I've changed my entire set list, and I'm just gonna go ham and tell you guys about what's been going on in my life.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
I want to come. So
Tickets are available. You guys can go to my Instagram at DJ Jesse J, and the link will be right there.
Yay. Lauren.
wonderful. You guys can find me at Lauren Salaun, and I will be doing my routine on my Instagram story. Anyway, I wanted to say thanks to everyone in the chat. We've had a ton of you, like 30 people still in here. It's Gloria, Kaya, Anne Marie, Little Sarah, Kelsey Forever, Meryl, Steven. I already said Anne Marie, Mr. Tanoki. I know Hanana's in here. I just don't see your name right now.
Yeah.
Joseph. Okay, tons of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hashtag Yael is Bay.
Yeah.
No.
She.
No.
Yella's Bay.
Calm
From
down.
Meryl.
And you can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Also, I have a podcast. It's called Intimate Interrogations. It's free. It's on iTunes. And sometimes it is filthy, but sometimes it is not. So check it out. There are new episodes coming out every Sunday now. Also, I tweeted out my schedule of what after shows I'm doing. Plus, I'm going back to London at the end of the month. So if you're in London, I expect to see you. But until next week, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.